On May 7, 2025, Germany's new Prime Minister Merz was elected and immediately strengthened border prosecution. Neighbors responded in a mixed manner, and the Schengen area faced challenges. On the first day of Prime Minister Merz's tenure, Interior Minister Alexander Dobrindt issued a written order. Starting May 7, all illegal immigrants will be banned from entering Germany via land borders, including refugees seeking asylum. Dobrindt gave verbal instructions to the federal police, requesting strengthened border controls and increased efforts to block illegal entrance. In the past, borders were usually subject to random checks. Currently, the number of police officers deployed at Germany's borders is over 11,000, with an additional 2,000 to 3,000 officers to be deployed soon. These forces will be stationed along Germany's nearly 4,000-kilometer external border. In addition, the number of riot police at the border will double, and mobile control and surveillance units they'll soon be increased. From now on, border inspectors will work on a 12-hour shift system. Most importantly, today, Dobrindt has officially revoked, in writing, the verbal instructions issued to the Federal Police by former Interior Minister Thomas de Maizière during the 2015 refugee crisis. According to those instructions, the previously applicable rule was third country nationals without legal residence documents, but who have applied for asylum must be allowed to enter. 10 years later, this directive has now been officially abolished, 8 hours after the new policy was implemented. On Wednesday afternoon, Germany's land borders were already filled with heavily armed federal police. The probability of vehicles being randomly checked in the entry direction is very high, and chances of sneaking into Germany tonight are almost impossible. Refugees applying for asylum will be taken to the nearest police station for a quick review. This does not count as official entry. If they cannot provide reasonable grounds for their asylum application, they will be immediately deported back to the previous country. On the same day, the Austrian government once again expressed its opposition. A government spokesperson stated, "We hope that all measures taken by Germany will comply with European law. Any practical measures taken by German authorities that deviate from this standard will not be accepted." Two other neighboring countries, Poland and the Czech Republic, also expressed opposition, while only France showed support. Today, Merz visited France on his first day in office for work-related reasons. The European law mentioned by the Austrian government refers to the Dublin Regulation, which stipulates, no matter which country a refugee applies for asylum at the border, that country is obliged to review the responsible country, the first country of arrival, for the refugee and transfer the refugee to that responsible country. Generally, this process takes 4 to 5 months. If Germany fails to transfer the refugee after 6 months, the responsible country automatically becomes Germany. Germany's extremely slow efficiency, combined with delays from the responsible country, ultimately means Germany is unlikely to complete the transfer within 6 months, leading to a vicious cycle. Refugees arrive at the border. Germany must accept them, Germany lest the asylum review likely cannot transfer them, and Germany becomes the responsible country. All European countries acknowledge the flaws in this mechanism, but asylum policy reform has been delayed on the agenda. Therefore, the basis for Prime Minister Merz's order to close Germany's borders this time is that, since the EU asylum rules are flawed, Germany must exercise the priority of national law. The national law here refers to the fact that Germany's borders are surrounded by safe third countries, so sending refugees back to these countries does not threaten their safety. In addition to opposition from other EU countries, human rights activists also protested, saying that denying refugees the right to apply for asylum is anti-human rights, and they will file lawsuits against Germany with the European Commission. The most likely scenario in the future is that refugees denied entry will file lawsuits in German and European courts, with the final decision resting with the European Court. If the European Court rejects Germany's new approach, this policy won't last long. Another possibility is that Germany negotiates with several neighboring countries to find a mutually satisfactory way to handle these refugees. Experts believe that in the short term, refugees and smuggling groups will quickly adapt to the new border situation and may turn to other routes, increasingly using secret paths through forests or across border rivers. Clearly, regardless of the approach, the short-term effect will definitely be significant. A federal police officer stated, If I were a smuggler, I'd better take a break for the next 4 weeks.